What's up, everybody, and welcome once again to The End Zone, brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment, and this is the football show by Guys That Love Football Show. As always, it's your host, Craig, here with my co-host,
your boy Ace,
and we got a jam-packed show for you. Sorry we missed you last week. My boy Ace went off to Jamaica, and could have actually did the show, but there was a snowstorm. They closed up the studio for Tuesday. My boy left on Wednesday, so we had to miss out on this past week. But he's back, and he's got an announcement.
So I want to give a shout out to the Westland Pop Warner Rams girls cheerleading. They went to Disney World, and they won first place, national champions.
What?
Yeah, the little, like, 7, 8 year olds, 6, 7, something.
Dope.
They're younger, but
yeah, whatever.
That's dope. Whatever.
They won a championship.
Yeah. Because it's pretty cool because there's 2 girls that coached the team. I went to high school with.
Yeah. It's Cass and
Brittany.
And Brittany. Yeah,
so
those are my own girls.
You know what I'm saying? So,
congrats, Cass and Brittany.
Yeah, Eastland Pop Warner.
Training champions. That's dope.
Champions. That's dope. So dope. So I want to give them a shout.
Hell yeah. Good shit. All right. So let's do the injury report as always. Auden Tate, the wide receiver for Cincinnati Bengals, out for the remainder of the season on injured reserve. Calvin Ridley, wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, got injured in his last game, out for the season. Marvin Jones injures his ankle, out for the season. Alshon Jeffries, unknown. I don't know what the injury was, but he got hurt during the game.
I think it was his knee.
Knee injury.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's out for, but he's probably going to be out for a little bit. Mike Evans, hamstring injury on an amazing touchdown catch in the middle of the game. They're saying it doesn't look good. He's probably out for the season. Finally, by some form of luck for the Indianapolis Colts, Adam Vinatieri is going in for surgery, so he's out for the season. The San Francisco 49ers lose Richard Sherman and center Richburg. I believe that these guys might be even out for the season as well.
No, they're coming back.
They're coming back. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that. But that's a tough loss. That's some guys who put in work for him. Washington just announced that Darius Geis will be out for the season with an MCL sprain. Nelson Aguilar, the Philadelphia Eagles losing so many wide receivers, they were finna put in Josh McCown, 40-year-old quarterback, at wide receiver. Like, what? How you gonna It's one thing if you for a quarterback to transition, but you coming in as a backup at 40 years old, I don't know how well that was gonna work out. As always, Will Fuller out for the season. That's always gonna happen. He lasted longer than I expected, even though he did get injured for a few games in the middle of the season. You can't rely on that guy ever.
Just like a lot of these guys you're naming, guys always hurt. All these guys is always hurt.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Rashad Penny just took a ACL tear, out for the season. Mahomes had a bruised hand during the Patriots game. And, Lamar Jackson with a quad injury. They're downplaying it, saying it's not that bad. And it's a quad injury. It probably isn't that bad. So, we'll most likely see him keep on doing what he's supposed to be doing. And that is your injury report for the week. Off to AC for the recap.
Bears 31, Cowboys 24. I'm going MVP Mitchell Trubisky. He was 23 of 31, 244 yards, 3 TDs, 1 INTO. He ran the ball 10 times for 63 yards and a touchdown.
Wow.
Shout out Mitch.
Yeah.
Green Bay 20, Washington 15. I'm going with Jones, the running back of Green Bay. 16 attempts, 134 yards, and 1 TD. Atlanta 40, Carolina 20. Matt Ryan, MVP, 20 of 34, 313 yards, 2 TDs, 0 INTs. Minnesota 20, Detroit 7. I'm going with Minnesota D, holding Detroit to 7 points.
Yeah, man.
Anytime that happens in the NFL, 7 or under, you always got to go D. Denver 38, Houston 24, and a surprise win. You got to go with Drew Lockett.
Yeah, coming in as a rookie, getting his start.
He was putting
it on him.
22 of 27, 304 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. And then my co-MVP of that is Noah Fant. 4 targets, 4 receptions, 113 yards and a touchdown.
Can I just say that I said the very beginning, Drew Lock better than Daniel Jones, and it's 1 game, 2 games, but it's looking true to me. But go ahead.
Cleveland 27, Cincinnati 19. I'm going with Nick Chubb. He was 15 attempts, 106 yards, but he didn't score.
He didn't get the score, yeah.
But he still went off in that game. Baltimore 24, Bills 17. Lamar Jackson 16 of 25, 145 yards, 3 TDs and 1 into. But the way he was just playing, just like tossing the ball around, like he's playing backyard football. He looks. He reminds me of Cam Newton a little bit.
Yeah, the touchdown where he went to go rush, knew he couldn't make it, and just lobs it over dude's head to the tight end, and the tight end able to adjust, make the adjustment and bring the ball in. That was pretty impressive.
It was. Tampa Bay 38, Colts 35. I'm going with Winston. As bad as he is, he had only reason why I'm putting Winston as MVP, I don't really like his stats. I like some of his numbers, but it's Winston-like, so, you know.
Exactly. You know, Winston, he doesn't, not his play, but there's one thing that reminds me of him, is he reminds me of Tony Romo. Yeah. And it's 2 things. One, they both high interception throwers. Yep. And, you know, Jameis Winston's leading, but they might not be the quarterback that gets you the win, but they are the quarterback that scores high fantasy points.
Definitely.
You know, he leads the league. In, Tampa Bay is the leading scoring team in the NFL. Yeah. So with that being said, Jameis Winston is actually one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
I wouldn't say that because a lot of times he's playing from behind too. So it's like, he's still putting up points. But they're
scoring the points. Yeah, if you're one of the leading scoring teams in the NFL, your quarterback's the guy getting the job done. Your defense just isn't it. Could you imagine if they had Patriots defense, or if they had Saints defense, or San Fran's defense? What would we be saying about Winston? We'd be like, oh yeah, he throws a lot of interceptions, but he's winning games.
Turnovers don't win you games.
Turnovers don't win you games.
But he was 33 of 45, 456 yards, 4 TDs, and 3 INTs. New York Jets, 22. Miami, 21. I'm going with Ryan Anderson. He was 11 targets, 7 receptions, 116 yards, and a touchdown.
Wait, who?
I mean, Anderson, the receiver. I said Ryan. Robbie.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Sanders. 7 field goals. Yeah. Made 7 attempts, 7 made field goals.
Well, Robbie's the only one who scored a touchdown in that game.
He is,
and you know I always give kickers love.
I feel you.
So if Robbie didn't score that only touchdown, a kicker would have got that love.
It would have had to have been.
You know that. San Fran 48, New Orleans 46, a shootout. I'm going with Jimmy G, 26 of 35, 349 yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception. My co-MVP, who could be the MVP, Emmanuel Sanders, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 157 yards, and a touchdown. Los Angeles Chargers, 45. Jacksonville Jaguars, 10. Phillip Rivers was 16 of 22, 314 yards and 3 TDs. And Erkler, he had 8 rushing attempts for 101 yards, no touchdowns, but he had 5 targets, 4 receptions, 112 yards, and a touchdown. Tennessee 42, Oakland 21. I'm going with Tannehill. He was 21 of 27, 391 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 INT. And then Brown, he had 7 targets, 5 receptions, 153 yards, and 2 TDs. He also had a 91-yard touchdown reception, so that was pretty impressive. KC 23, Pat 16. Woo! Patrick Mahomes 26 of 40, 283 yards and a touchdown, and he had 1 interception. Sorry, Craig. Rams 28, Seattle 12. Jared Goff was 22 of 31, 293 yards, 2 TDs, 2 INTs, and Tyler Higbee, that's his name, right? Yep. Tyler Higbee had 11 targets for 7 receptions, 116 yards, and no touchdowns. Wow. And then Philly 23, New York Giants 17. I'm going with Carson Wentz. He had that game-winning drive in overtime. He was 33 of 50, 325 yards, 2 TDs, no INTs. So give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah. And Eli. All right. So I think I might have told you we're going to jump into one thing, but I want to first talk about Ron Rivera.
Okay.
Carolina Panthers had the audacity to fire my boy Ron Rivera. I love his Pepsi commercial. I like Ron Rivera. I think he is an excellent coach. You have to bring in a low drafted rookie quarterback to come in and take over for Cam Newton, the guy you prepared for all season long. And I think he won some games. We were talking great about Kyle Allen. Yeah, he's fallen. He kind of fell off a cliff halfway through the season, but he was doing well, and this team was playing pretty well. He got doing things with Christian McCaffrey. I don't think that this was a rightful execution. What do you think?
I love how you put it, a rightful execution.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a rightful execution either, because the simple fact is, it's like there's a whole boatload of other coaches that could have been fired before him, so that's why I just don't agree with it. But I feel as though Carolina right now is kind of like going like out with the old and with the new. So I can appreciate them firing him for that aspect of it, but any other aspect of it I just don't agree with, because other coaches should have been fired first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like, yeah, you want to be out with the old and in with the new. You want to go with Kyle Allen. You want to go with Christian McCaffrey, and you want to, and you know, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, and you want to bring in a bunch of new guys, maybe bring in some new coaches. But at this point, like, you couldn't let the man finish out the season.
Respectable.
Yeah. And let's just name some guys that I think should have been fired well before the season started, and absolutely over Ron Rivera. And let's start off with the guy in the #1 hot seat, the guy who should have lost his job 2-3 years ago, Jason Garrett.
Yes, he should have
Can
been
the man.
gone.
And you know what makes me mad? Is that Jerry Jones says he guarantees Jason Garrett will be back next year. What?
Jerry Jones is talking up the side of his neck, boy.
He better be.
That boy he be hot. He be hot. He's hot.
Wow, man. Jason Garrett's terrible. I hate this dude. I think he's a funny-looking dude, and he sucks at coaching. Let's get rid of him. A guy that you might not agree with this because it's his first year coaching, but I'm done with Freddie Kitchens. Yeah, he got a lot of divas on one team. Shut your mouth and coach the game, bro. You got so much talent and you couldn't do nothing with it. Yeah, you got a baby Odell Beckham. What did you think? Did you not think you had the baby Odell Beckham? It's Odell Beckham. He came with a bib and a binky. Like, let's get it done. You know what? There's two coaches in my division that got fresh jobs this year, but there's only one I think does not deserve his job, and that's Adam Gase. I think that you got handed a stacked team and you made it look like doo-doo. Buffalo Bills are doing better than you. That's a problem. You almost lost to the Miami Dolphins. That's a problem. Can them. Matt Nagy, coach of the Bears, like terrible play calling, and I just think
it's that quarterback position more so.
You know what?
So that one could go either way.
It can go either way, but because
he's doing something right, that their team is not going out there getting killed. You get what I'm saying?
This is true.
It's like we see what the problem is. You know, it's sad, but we see.
If I'm the GM of Chicago, Nagy just lost his job.
Yeah.
If they don't make the playoffs, they made the playoffs last year. If they don't make the playoffs this year, same team, you're out. Dan Quinn of the Atlanta Falcons. There's no way you have all this talent on one team and you don't make the playoffs. Done. Go home. Pack your bags. You ain't even allowed to coach nowhere in the NFL. Zach Taylor, Cincinnati Bengals. You got one win. You cannot be a coach with one win. I don't care what you say. You have an offense that was stacked without AJ Green. You need to lose your job. Los Angeles Chargers, Anthony Lynn. You know, I don't want to fire a black coach, but you're done, son. You didn't do. You had a great team. You had a team that should have made the playoffs. You had a team that before the season started, we were talking about maybe even making the Super Bowl.
Absolutely agree with you.
And you might not even make the playoffs. Out. You're done. And then finally, I think people might be like, what, really? But if you are, you're not paying attention. Doug Marrone, Jacksonville Jaguars. You had 2 years ago the best defense in the NFL, and now you're not even a top 10 defense. It's time to go. See you later. Peace. Go home. All right. Now that that's done,
You good now?
Well, I'm good now.
All right.
I do want to jump. I didn't realize I said this. I didn't realize I put this topic over. But now we're going to one more topic. Teams eliminated from playoff contention. Let's talk about it. Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be here.
I'm saying, obvious elimination. They were, it looked like they were throwing this season, but they did come through. This is the reason why I don't say fire this coach, is because they came through. They got some victories.
They got some victories down the stretch.
It looked like they were losing games on purpose, and then they came and they got some wins. They could have had that #1 overall draft pick, and they gave it up. Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals, awful team. With that #1 overall draft pick, they better get a quarterback.
They need to.
They don't have that.
They was terrible all around.
One team I'm so happy about, New York Giants.
Yeah. The thing with them is that they put all their chips into the rookie too early.
Danny Dimes?
Yeah, too early. And
now he's Danny Pocket Change.
Exactly. And I could sit here and say I called it because I already knew there was a couple quarterbacks better than him.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, we said go Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
And Dwayne Haskins, as the season progressed, he does look better.
We said Lockett too.
We did say Lockett, and now he come off injury. He's looking real good.
Yeah.
Another quarterback looking better than Danny Dimes is Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Washington Redskins, they somehow only just got eliminated from playoff contention, but I think that's because they're in an abysmal division.
Yeah, their division's terrible. It's like the Patriots.
Yep. Detroit Lions.
It's sad with Detroit because Detroit actually had a solid team, and you would think that they should be in the playoffs, and they got the good coaching, they got a good defense, they got an all-around pretty solid team, and it's like, how do you get bumped out? So I think there's
beats.
more. Yeah, you could say bad beats, but there's more going on because there's no way with that team.
Do you want to know what I think? There's only one thing the Detroit Lions are missing, and they need to address it immediately this year. With their first-round draft pick, they need to get the best available running back. They have never had a real run game since, as far as I can tell, since Barry Sanders. Like, no real run game. And until they address that issue, they're never going to do anything. Atlanta Falcons.
This sickens me.
Hurts my stomach.
Because Atlanta's like one of my teams that I like to watch because I used to live there and stuff like that. But it's kind of like you said, you have all this talent from offense to defense, and you just can't put it together. You had a good run in the Super Bowl. I don't know if that you still Super Bowl slumped, getting beat to the Patriots or whatever, but you got to get over it, kid. Like, let's proceed. Like, this is 2 years in a row that you just don't make the playoffs. You don't even, at some points, you don't think they even compete in. And then when you're like, okay, now let me go with them, then they hurt your feelings and lose. And then it's like, let me go against them, and then they hurt your feelings and win. So it's one of those weather teams. I call them weather. You don't know if it's going to be 90 degrees or raining. So, and it's bad because, like you said, I don't know if it's a GM issue. I don't know if it's a head coaching issue. I don't know if it's a team issue, a team morale issue. But they need to get it together.
They're regretting not making Kyle Shanahan the head coach and letting him go to San Fran.
Absolutely.
Carolina Panthers, we know what happened there. Let go of their coach. Arizona Cardinals, no surprise. I feel like they don't have a team yet.
Nah.
They're not put together. And then finally, Jacksonville Jaguars, which is why Doug Marrone needs to go. So all these teams eliminated from playoff contention.
What about the Jets?
The Jets, I don't believe, are eliminated from playoff contention yet. Like wild card, I don't know if they're 100. Are they? Did you see it that they were eliminated?
Yeah, I thought.
New York Jets. New York Jets eliminated from playoff contention
Chargers.
As well. Oh yes, I did forget the Chargers. Chargers eliminated from playoff contention.
And Tampa Bay Bucks.
And the Bucks. Wow.
And then you got a couple teams on the bubble.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Rams is on a bubble team. Pittsburgh Steelers bubble team. How they become a bubble team and get as far? You would think they'd be eliminated.
They're in a division with only one good team.
That's good coaching too, though, because all these injuries and you still make a bubble team and you still can make a wild card. You got to give credit where credit's due. If they make that playoffs, coach of the year. Even though you hate them, give it to them.
I didn't put them on the list.
Well deserved.
I took him off the list because I will say he's made some adjustments. He doesn't even have his number one wide receiver or running back or quarterback, and you're on the bubble. I can't call for the firing. But Tomlin, my eye is on you, son. You're on the bubble. You're on the bubble.
Colts is on the bubble. Indy.
Oh.
Jacoby Brissett.
Man,
tough.
That's a tough one.
Denver Broncos is a bubble team.
Oh, I mean, they're gonna get eliminated next week.
Oakland Raiders is another bubble team.
Yeah. Oof,
so those are the bubble teams.
All right. Oh, and I almost forgot. I just want to give a quick little accolade for Ron Rivera. He coached from 2011 to 2019. He has a 76-63-1 record as a coach, not just as a Carolina Panther. No, my bad. It is as a Carolina Panther. 76-63-1. He has two-time Coach of the Year for AP and two-time PFWA Coach of the Year for the NFL. So that's 4 times Coach of the Year awards.
AP is just Associated Press.
Okay, and PFWA, I didn't really look it up, but whatever. So anyway, let's move on to the next topic, and this is the one that we were supposed to go right after the recap. We had to push it back for 2 other things. Ryan Tannehill, 6-1 since starting. He's a poor man's MVP. Go ahead.
I love the guy now.
You know what? I apologize to
guy.
Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, I'm sorry because I called you doo-doo. I said you was done. I said you had nothing left in the tank. But I do have some things I will say.
And Ace stayed by his side.
All right. Oh wait, so, you stayed there? Yeah, I'm about to look at.
I've been talking about him. I even gave him my MVP to get you mad 1 week.
Wait, but what was you saying in the beginning of the season?
Well, at the beginning they had Mariota, and we were saying they got to get rid of him.
Yeah, but we weren't saying Ryan Tannehill was the answer.
We didn't say he was the answer, but once he started playing, we said he was the answer.
Yeah, he was the answer.
We were saying you got to bench Mariota. He's not helping that team. Bench Mariota. Once they benched him, they started winning, and then that's when I jumped on the bandwagon. Once they started winning, I jumped on the Tannehill bandwagon. I didn't know who their backup was going to be, who was they going to bring in, who was saying they can bring in someone like Cam Newton and other players like that. We had a whole scenario for them to bring in somebody, but we knew that Mariota wasn't the answer for them, and we could see that Tannehill. Look at this. Tannehill since being in since week 7.
Let's do it.
6-1, second in the NFL. Points per game, 31.4, second in the NFL. Yards per game, 395, second in the NFL.
Wow.
Yards per play, 6.95, first in the NFL. He got that team rocking and rolling.
15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he has 3 consecutive games with 130 passer rating. Homeboy has resurged. All them years under injury, playing backup, has done him well. And we always say, I always say 100%, anytime a player is failing, it's probably because it's bad coaching. If you can make it to the NFL, it's because you're NFL worthy.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you get the right coach can bring out the right play in you, and we're getting that. We're getting that in Tennessee. So I'm happy to see Ryan Tannehill resurge in his career. I liked Ryan Tannehill for a while when he was on Miami, but he had too many bad seasons, too many injury-riddled seasons, and now Tennessee's talking about giving him that extension and making him the starting QB.
And their man.
Yeah. Whew, wow. From bum to badass.
It can go that.
We'll see how it goes. All right. Now we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the Patriots' loss. Or, as I would like to call it, and everybody in the world would like to call it, the robbery of the New England Patriots. Robbery. You know it. I know it. They know it. You know that they got robbed. But go ahead. Say what you got to say.
It's so funny to me because it's like when something happens to New England, the fans go up in like an uproar. It's like, oh, New England. Craig, how many times have we sat on this show?
I know what you're going to say. I know exactly what you're going to say.
How many times have we sat on this show and talked about refereeing? And you came to the perfect conclusion that referees who make bad calls and it's replayed should be fined.
Yes.
And I totally agree with you.
Yes.
I laugh and joke about it all the time, but I agree with you 110%.
Yes.
But me and you both saw this year. On turnover situations, they blow that whistle so you can't score. We saw that happen in other games this year.
We saw it happen in other
they stop
games.
play, and then you be like, damn, that could have been a touchdown for the other team, and it's reviewed, and then they get the ball, and then they
at the spot where they picked it up.
where they picked it up. BS. Refs should be fine because now you're blowing with the game. Mm-hmm. We done saw them make bad out-of-bounds calls, bobble plays with fumbles and wide receivers. So it's
they're missing everything.
Yeah, so it's no surprise to me. But I think people blew it up as an uproar because we got a lot of Pats fans, so they blew it up as an uproar because something finally happened to them. But in reality, it happens every week in the NFL to every team, every different team. Okay. So it's just Pats. It was just Pats week this week. That's how I look at it. Every week it's another team complaining about refereeing. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
But this week it's just my point exactly. So this week is just Pats week to complain about refereeing because they got screwed over. Last week it was probably New Orleans or somebody like that. The week before it was somebody else. My point exactly.
Let me say this. I totally agree with you. If there was one simple thing, if they had blew the fumble call, okay, or if they had only blew the touchdown call, or if they had only blew the pass interference call. But that's not the case. They blew 5 calls throughout the whole game. They don't blow that. Now, here's my problem. And this was supposed to be, the adjustment was supposed to be made. The owners and the commission have told the refs, let the play finish. Mm-hmm. Then, once it's done, blow your whistle. Review it afterwards. Because Gilmore picks up that ball, he runs it in for a touchdown. You don't blow your whistle. You blow the whistle after the touchdown scored. You review it. It's not a fumble. Play over. They get their ball back, and no harm, no foul. Gilmore doesn't get the touchdown, but he scores a touchdown. You review it. You see that he scored. Now Patriots get a touchdown. N'Keal Harry. He jumps into the end zone. You call it a touchdown. Now you can review it. If his foot went out of bounds, now it's no touchdown. Patriots take the ball back and they play the ball as if the way they were gonna play it. But you blow the whistle, say it's not a touchdown. Now it can't be reviewed because we don't have any challenges left because you already blew 2 calls and we won both those challenges. You know what I'm saying? So we already blew them on calls that we had to call the red challenge flag on, and we lose our 2 challenges. We can't challenge no more. If you let it be a touchdown, now you review it, and if it wasn't, you bring it back. Then you get Philip Dorsett damn near hugged going up for the ball. No pass interference call. Philip Dorsett again Julian Edelman in the end zone gets damn near tackled as he's about to catch the game-tying touchdown.
That was a good defensive play.
Bullshit.
That wasn't passing.
Whatever. You're probably right, but I'm already steamed up.
You're charged
up. I'm already steamed up, son.
Kirk's charged up.
You know what I'm saying? You give us any one of those touchdowns, right? Give us one.
Give us an overtime.
Give us the Gilmore touchdown or give us the N'Keal Harry touchdown. And in that drive, right? Yep. We're gonna kick that final drive. We're kicking a field goal to go in overtime. If we lose, no skin off my back. If we win, hell yeah, we're now 11-2. But you stole a victory. You stole the opportunity for a victory, and you stole the victory from us. You stole both things.
Lesson of Sunday: don't ever leave the game in the refs' hands.
You should never leave the game in the refs' hands. But we didn't. We did everything we needed to do to win, and the refs
left the game
robbed
in the refs'
us.
hands.
They robbed us. And here's the other kicker: second half.
Yeah.
They scored, the Chiefs scored 3 points in the second half. We figured them out. We shut them down. We figured out how to score on them, and we started scoring. We figured that team out.
A day late and $1 short.
No, we were not a day late and $1 short. We came with $5 on a $1 bill.
Wasn't you guys home team too?
Yes.
All right then.
You know what I'm saying?
You're still complaining. How does that work?
We got robbed, ski masked, and all, yo. They took the change
no
and
mask.
the
They
pocket
took the mask off.
Yeah,
mask.
You know what? You're right. They came in. They was like, "You see my face?
Mask.
Don't call the cops."
And no mask.
Because I know what you look like. It was terrible. It was gunpoint. They took the pocket lint as well. It was terrible, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you. You can't leave in the ref hands. It is what it is. We lost that game, but we were robbed. That was not a game that the Patriots lost. That was a game that was stolen. Seattle. Excuse me, not Seattle. Oh, wow, I'm about to sneeze. San Fran.
We got you charged up saying the wrong team.
San Fran come in and beats out the Saints on a final drive. What a game. Let's talk about it.
I love that game. It was so excited. It was a lot of back and forth at halftime. At halftime, they had almost 50 points combined.
Yeah, I know.
So it was crazy. And then it's like to see the plays that happened. They was coming back. It was like a Tyson fight, back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. And you know, I respect Jimmy G a lot more now that you can see that he's building that confidence to become the man in San Fran.
Yeah, because we was talking at the beginning of the season that he might not have that poise.
Yeah, and he showed that poise that he can do it. So that gives me a little bit of trust in him. Yeah, coming up on doing this as late as in the season to come up in the playoffs and feel confident that he can come and win a game or two in the playoffs.
It makes me feel like the 49ers made the right decision, not only trading for him, but giving him that big extension, $125 million for 5 years.
When you can do that, when you can make game-winning drives, you're worthy of anything in the NFL.
Against a team like the Saints, too. They're no slouches.
For sure.
Jimmy G has arrived. He's doing what he needs to do, and I like Jimmy G. You know, he was a former Patriot. You know, as a Patriots fan and seeing what he's doing now, and even before, you know, every Patriot fan was mad that we lost Jimmy G. Yeah. So I'm loving this kid, and he's definitely showing out. Mostert coming in, scoring 2 touchdowns. Emmanuel Sanders doing his thing. This is a team that is getting ever more dangerous as the season progresses. Baltimore holding off Buffalo. Now, I know you gave Lamar Jackson the MVP, well-deserved, but this was a struggle game for Baltimore. They weren't the blowout team that they've been. They struggled against this team.
I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Their last couple of weeks, they played top-notch teams. So now you come back and play like a mid-tier team.
Are they, though?
Buffalo?
Yeah, Buffalo. What, 9-3?
Buffalo's a scrappy team this year, but they're a scrappy team this year. But you know, normally they're a mid-team, low-tier team. So you still got to consider them as a mid-tier team. Yeah. And when you're going versus teams like the Patriots and Houston, and you got to really grind it out versus them in San Fran, and win big games versus them, and then you got to go play versus a team like Buffalo. That's more in Buffalo's flavor than anything. Yeah. So. And again, that shows you a lot with that Baltimore team that they can go out there and get a grind game. What was interesting to me the most that I saw, I don't know if you was paying attention to this in this game, was that, you know how before we talked about the guy making the comments about Lamar Jackson? And what game was that? Was that the
San Fran game? Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about that on the show?
No, we didn't.
So let's get them up to speed. The radio host for the San Francisco 49ers football show, talk show, had made a joke that the reason why it was so easy for Lamar Jackson to do quarterback sneaks was because his hand is the same color as the ball. Yeah. And you want to know something? I was talking about that with some friends of mine, and to be honest with you, that shit made me laugh. You know.
Well, for us, because we're not ignorant people, it makes you, and that's the thing, that's the difference. Now, if it was so of a verse and Lamar says something to that radio host in the ignorant, rude, comment way, there'd be a lot of backlash for him.
Yeah, I didn't hear how the guy on the radio said it. Like, if he said it like to be a dick, then what he said was wrong.
I'm not even sure how he said it myself, but I'm just saying in general.
Because if he just said it as a joke.
But here's the thing about that. I don't know if you paid attention, but over that comment this week, he wore white. He wore white Under Armour.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
For the first half, he had white Under Armour on with the white jersey. Yeah. And then second half, he went bare. He didn't wear nothing. Okay, yeah. So it's like almost like a FU to the guy for saying those comments. Like, I'm going to still do my ball fakes. But did you see that move that he put at the line? When he did the ball fake, I forget his name that was coming to tackle him. He's like, boom, boom, froze them up and boop.
And dipped on him.
And then that's when he rushed for his 1,000-yard. That was that play.
Oh, really?
When he had his 1,000-yard rush in the season. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, this kid's playing incredible football, man. There's nothing he can't do at this point. I find it hard to believe that we're not looking at a Baltimore-San Fran Super Bowl. Anything can happen on any given Sunday, but it to me, it just seems like both these teams are just playing incredible football. One game that was kind of, from just a simple, interesting standpoint, a fun game to watch was the Dolphins versus the Jets. Only one touchdown scored in the game, in a game where the score was 21-22.
Yeah.
It was a fun game to watch, but all field goals. Broke a record for most field goals in a game with, I believe, 12 field goals in a game.
Like
Dolphins were one field goal short of tying. 7 field goals to 5 field goals and 1 touchdown. Definitely a funny game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And then finally, Denver beats Houston.
Houston had that Patriots slum over.
That hangover?
Yeah, that hangover.
That little Patriots win hangover?
Yeah.
It does. Yo, how do you not just beat, how do you handle the New England Patriots and then and then get mopped by Denver?
Again, sometimes you play down to teams that's not good, and
There's playing down, and then there's just getting pooped on.
Yeah, it happens,
I mean, what? And D-Hop had a great game. He had a great game.
Yeah.
But, wow.
And they were starting to make a comeback a little bit, but it wasn't enough
It was way too... I mean, you was getting beat, I think it was 24-3, and through the first, 3 quarters, it was terrible. Just getting absolutely dominated by a team that you were an 8-4 team, getting dominated by 4-8 team. What? And you beat at the time you beat the second best team in the league. Now third best, maybe fourth. But what? It's that to me that was just and not only crazy, but I feel like when this happens, when a team beats us and then gets dominated. Last year it was the Tennessee Titans, remember?
Yeah.
They just dominated us. And then the next week they play some bum team and get beat.
Yeah.
It's what? How does this happen? And it's what we say. We've said it before. When people come to play the Patriots, it's a Super Bowl game to them.
Yeah.
Beating the Patriots is like beating up your dad. It's you ain't. I'm too tough for you now, Dad. And then you wrestle your dad to the ground. You make him submit.
Yeah.
And then you go outside and a 10-year-old kicks your ass. It's what happens, I don't know. It's weird to me, but it was a fun game to watch. Cam Newton on the trading block. What do you think about that?
Well, I love it because it's I know he can go somewhere and still be effective in the league.
Yep.
So for him to be on the trading block, good, because you don't want him to just sit on the bench and be a backup.
Oh, he'll never be a backup.
So at the end of the day, there's some teams that's going to need him and that's going to want him, and he'll find a good home, and he's going to make that team different.
Number one team that either you want to see him go to or that you think needs him the most.
I haven't even thought about that, but
Shot in the dark. Shot in the dark. A lot of teams with shitty quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Cincinnati.
I was gonna say I would say Dolphins, but not really because you have to bring in some players around him.
Yeah, but Dolphins got 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
This year they got at least 3 first round.
A positive mentor somewhere. Yeah, I would say Miami.
Miami Dolphins. See, personally, if they don't go number one, if Cincinnati doesn't go number 1 quarterback, I think that it would be really, really cool to see him in a Cincinnati Bengals jersey. I think that would be fun to see. A team that I think would be really interesting, though, is Pittsburgh Steelers.
I was thinking that, but the thing is, Big Ben will be back by then.
Is he going to be back?
I don't know.
Is he going to be back? I mean, Big Ben has been dealing with injuries for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It might be time for him to just be all right, I'm good.
Yeah, who knows?
So, all right. Eli is back at the helm for the New York Giants, and Daniel Jones hits the bench. Tell me about that one.
Well, he hit the bench because of injury, or was that a make-believe injury?
I thought he just got benched.
No, he was injured.
Really?
Yeah. and Eli got the stop. But after seeing what Eli did in that start, I believe that you just bench Daniel Jones for the rest of this season. Because he's a rookie. He showed you what you needed to see. You're not in the playoffs anymore.
No.
So let Eli finish his career with these next couple games and let him retire. That's how I feel. And that's only
or he uses these couple games to get himself a deal somewhere else.
Yeah, but nobody would really. I don't think. Yeah. No.
I mean,
who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? So yeah, I would say let him play for the next couple games, man. He looked good yesterday. He looked real good.
I didn't actually watch the game, but I know he started off the game really well, and I know that they were beating the Eagles.
Yeah, all the way.
But Carson Wentz stepped up and got their team to victory.
Came
but
up all the way to the
happens.
end of the game. Yeah.
All right, man. We got to come back to the Patriots. Patriots busted for recording Cincinnati sideline. I heard a lot of things. I heard that they had, consent from Cincinnati. Then I'm hearing that, whatever they were doing was illegal. First they denied, then they said whatever, and then they're like, can't we just, what if we just delete the footage? Bill Belichick saying we don't knowingly break the rules, whatever. What do you think?
I just think it's one of those Patriot scandals again where you give the Patriots an inch, they take the mile, they find out ways how to beat the system, and they're always 10 steps ahead of the game. And at the end of the day, let the NFL deal with it, see what it comes about. But Patriots is always hooked up in cheating scandals, so it's no news to my ears.
To be honest, I really don't care about the situation, but I will say this: we have one of the worst ref games of the season, and then the next day we get spanked.
And then I'm like, why would you want to record a 1 in 15 team anyway?
New coach.
Yeah, new coach, new play calling. Yeah.
I don't know.
So it makes you think, how long have they been doing this? How long has this been going on?
I saw someone reporting, that all the teams do these type of things, but it seems like the Patriots are the ones who always get caught. But to be honest with you, I don't know. They probably do it a lot, and they probably do it more than anybody else. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's something they say in all sports. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I don't know. I honestly don't care. I feel like, they're always trying to attack the Patriots. It is what it is, and whatever happens, happens. But it's just another scandal against the Patriots.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? We gotta bang out some of this stuff. The backlash on Michael Vick. Michael Vick was gonna be one of the coaches for the Pro Bowl, and extreme backlash. People are uproaring about the fact that that Michael Vick was going to be a Pro Bowl coach, to the point of 200,000 signatures to prevent him from being a Pro Bowl coach. What do you think?
I think it's just like this. It's like anything. When you pay your debt to society, you got to let it go, But I don't like to, like we say on this show, we don't like to talk politics or racial things or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's a sad world we live in, where people love animals more than they love human beings.
That's a tough one for me.
Absolutely agree.
I don't love animals more than I love human beings. And here's the thing: I wanted to be that person who was like, hey guys, he went to jail. He did his time. And then you see a picture of a dog that was brutalized by him and by his care, and then you find out about the things that he did to dogs.
But technically, it was never proven that he actually did it. It was just proven that it happened on his premises.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
You could be honest, but still,
whether he allowed
it, whether he lost over $100 million over it, he lost everything and built himself back up. He's still a dog activist in other places.
Yeah, he is a dog. He is a dog activist. So it's like,
he's giving back to his community. He's someone who did his time. Yep. He lost all the money. He had to build himself back up.
Yep.
He's a better role model in the community now. He learned. You can see he learned his lesson. He's remorseful.
He's repairing he's doing everything he can to repair the damage of what he did. But as a person who wants to see both sides of the fence, like, I could see why. I mean, granted, where would I feel like this uproar should have been more predominant when he was allowed to come back to the NFL and play football.
Yes.
I mean, the man played football for 3-4 years after this situation, and now that he's a Pro Bowl coach, people are up in arms about it. But I love dogs. I don't love dogs more than humans, but I love dogs, and I think anybody who abuses a dog should get the shit kicked out of him.
Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing bad with that at all. You get what I'm saying?
You're just saying that he paid his debt.
I'm just saying he paid his debt to society, so society should let it go.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just like this, like people go hunting.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, if people go hunting and kill an animal, they don't torture an animal.
Why not?
What do you mean?
Sometimes those animals suffer, right?
Sometimes they do suffer.
All right, so
and there are probably people who hunt
job,
animals that do probably make an animal suffer, and so those some pretty shitty people. And like I said, I find it hard to be on either side of this, either side of the situation.
That's how I feel, but it's because I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, yeah, I hate dogs because I don't hate dogs. I do like dogs.
Yeah.
But again, I just feel like if this was anybody else, then it wouldn't even be nothing said.
Maybe.
You got people like Big Ben who rape people in the NFL. You got murderers in the NFL.
Yeah.
You got people who got caught DUIs and stuff like that in the NFL.
Yep.
And you're worried about this is more important than a guy.
Michael Vick actually went to jail. A lot of these other people didn't even go to jail.
This is more important than Big Ben raping 2 girls and people still support him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
This is more important than Ray Lewis killing somebody and he's still being
he's a commentator.
Commentator on TV.
This is true. I didn't think about. If you're not protesting, Ray Lewis, and you're not protesting Big Ben, if you're not actively protesting these people, then you got to leave Michael Vick alone.
And it's just like society tries to pick and choose their fights on the weak individuals. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like the guy who actually went to jail and paid you guys back,
and is continuing
to pay you guys back and do everything back the right way, is the guy you hate. But there's this guy who never lost a dime, who got to play his whole career in the NFL, who knowingly raped 2 women, who came out, who went guilty and paid them off and everything, and it's nothing.
Yeah, this is true.
It's just,
all right, let's leave that topic alone. We got the top 10 picks of the week. As always, I let you go first.
I'm going Baltimore -14 over the Jets. I'm going Green Bay -4.5 over Chicago. I'm going KC -11 over Denver. I'm going Tampa Bay -3.5 over Detroit. I'm going Philly -4.5 over Washington. I'm going Pats -9.5 over Cincinnati. I'm going Seattle -5.5 versus Carolina. I'm going Atlanta +11 versus San Fran. I'm going New Orleans -9 versus the Colts. And I'm going Cowboys +1 versus the Rams.
Cowboys. Rams. You're going Cowboys?
Yes.
Okay.
They need it.
All right. I agree with you. Baltimore over the Jets. I think Seattle beats Carolina. Carolina getting 6. I like Philly over Washington. Washington getting 4.5. I like the Rams over Dallas, with Dallas getting a point. I like the Giants over Miami. Miami getting 3.5. I like Tennessee over Houston, with Houston getting 3. I like Denver over Kansas City. Kansas City -10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like Tampa Bay over Detroit. Detroit getting 3.5. I like New England over Cincinnati. Cincinnati getting 9.5. I like Buffalo over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh down -2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. All right.
So we got 5 of the same, 5
different, and those 5 different,
2
are gonna
different.
be the ones that dominate you.
Hopefully.
All right. Top 5 games to watch of the week.
My top 5 games to watch this week would be Buffalo versus the Steelers. Steelers fighting for a playoff spot. Buffalo's kind of already in the playoffs, so see what happens.
Wild card.
And it's tricky because you don't know if teams is going to bench players or not. So Oakland versus the Jaguars. That's another team to see if they. That's another team that's going to have to stay alive, Oakland, for a playoff spot. Pats versus Cincinnati. See if the Pats can bounce back and get a win. They're playing versus a weak Cincinnati team, so put up
a team that only has one win.
Yeah, so put up big numbers. Green Bay versus the Bears. It's going to be a great game. Last time they played, and last time they opened up NFL this year with the 100-year anniversary, and that was a great game. So I think it's going to continue on and be another great game.
All right.
And last but not least, New Orleans versus the Colts. See if New Orleans can bounce back and get a win after going into a dogfight with San Fran. And also, Colts got to win to stay alive and see what they can do, because that's a good matchup. Knowing that the Colts have a chance to make the playoffs and they need to beat New Orleans, a team who's already in. So let's see what they really can do in that game.
All right, dope. First game for me is Houston versus Tennessee. Divisional matchup. Both teams fighting for that playoff spot. This game could decide who's going to be the number one. I really like this game. Tannehill's playing amazing, as is Deshaun Watson. So I like to see how that goes. Another divisional matchup I'm excited for. Denver versus Kansas City. Denver just took down Houston. They got Drew Lock, rookie quarterback, playing incredible football against a defense that's starting to come together. So I'd like to see how this game plays out. I like the Rams game versus Dallas. I'd like to see how this game goes. Dallas desperate for a win. This division is abysmal. All the teams are still fighting for that playoff spot. So a win here for Dallas.
It's crazy if you look at all their records. Is crazy good, and they're all some of them about to be bounced out.
It's nuts. But in Dallas, in Dallas's division, the team that makes the playoffs could possibly have a losing record. That's ridiculous. Then I like Minnesota versus the Chargers. Minnesota still fighting for that wild card spot, and so they need this win to propel them into the playoffs. Chargers eliminated from contention, which makes them a team with nothing to lose. They might play with their all. And then my game of the week, Atlanta Falcons versus the San Francisco 49ers. I think this is going to be an exciting game to watch, and I think that Atlanta is going to, defensively, I think Atlanta is going to be a problem. All right, and then with the last few minutes, let's talk about the NFL increases the salary cap in 2020 from $196.8 million to $202.2 million, which is a 40% increase from 2015.
I think that's good because it helps them keep players. It helps them get more players. They might even thinking about, are they going to extend the roster for a couple more or no?
Well, they're trying to extend the season to make it to give us at least one or two more games of the regular season.
But would they extend the roster too, since it's
more games? You mean more than 53 men?
Yeah,
I don't think so. Okay. That would be crazy. But you got players that are getting big contracts. You got a team like the Jets. That they got like 6 players that make up $63 million of their roster next year. So
at the end of the day, that helps a team like the Jets with that roster. So I think it's beneficial for some teams, and some teams they can use it on to make signing, like Dallas, who has to sign Dak. That money could be used, and Cooper. That money could be used for that type of thing. So I think it works out that there's a salary cap opening that's going to help them out.
To be honest with you, man, I'm one of those people who I'm not one of those people that hates on players making tons of money. All the money that these owners are making, we got to continuously keep giving these players a bigger slice of the pie. Absolutely. Because we don't come to watch the owners.
Exactly.
We come to watch the players and see what the schemes that the coaches come up with, and owners have nothing to do with that. They give a GM all the leeway. I remember I don't remember because I wasn't alive when it happened. I don't even think, my parents might not even been alive, but there was a time where the owners were the coaches. So we're in a different world now. But I love to see players making more money. And we have a few more minutes left, looking like, what do we got? We got 6 minutes. So what we're going to do is AC's MVPs of the week.
Oh my God.
All right. Jets play the Ravens on Thursday night. Who's your MVP?
If they don't bench, if I like
No one gets benched. No big players get benched till week 17. They play through.
No, they thinking about benching Jackson Lamar.
No, they're not gonna bench him.
Cause it's quad.
Oh, all right. I mean, if he gets, so who you got if he gets benched?
The big dog. Who?
Who? Oh, Melvin Ingram. Yeah. What if he doesn't get benched?
I'll still go with Ingram because I think they're gonna rely on him since
to keep Lamar healthy. Yeah. Yep. Patriots versus the Bengals.
Should have gotta be Tom Brady.
Oh, I think Edelman. Bucks versus the Lions.
Jameis Winston.
Tampa Bay D. Bears versus the Packers. It's a tough one, I know.
Jones.
Yeah. Texans versus the Titans.
D-Watt. I'm switching it up this week.
Tannehill all day, baby.
D-Watt.
Poor man's MVP.
Houston. I like Houston in that.
I know you do. Broncos versus the Chiefs. Philip Lindsay.
Patty Mahoney.
Dolphins versus the Giants.
Hopefully Eli gets that start and it be Eli.
Darius Slayton. Eagles versus the Redskins.
I like either Wentz or that other backup running back that was getting all the shine.
Miles Sanders or AJ or Jay Ajayi.
Nope.
Neither one of those guys?
It was.
I don't even know who his name is, but I got to go with Carson Wentz. Oh, wait. I mean, yeah, Carson Wentz. While you're looking that up, Seahawks, Panthers.
Big Russ.
Yes. Jaguars versus the Raiders.
Jaguars versus the Raiders.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I go with Carr.
Really? I got to go with my boy Leonard Fournette. My LSU man.
Scott.
Huh?
Scott?
Scott? I don't even know who the hell that is. I never even heard his name.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
He was going crazy yesterday.
Browns versus the Cardinals.
Boston Scott.
Oh, Boston Scott. I know who that is. Yep. Browns versus the Cardinals.
We're going with my guy.
Kyler Murray?
Kyler.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to risk it all on this one because there's nothing to risk. And I'm going to go with David Njoku because the Arizona Cardinals don't know how to stop tight ends. Except for some reason, Vance McDonald. Vikings versus the Chargers.
Eckler.
Who?
What's his name? Eckler?
Eckler? This is a tough one for me, but I am going to go with Kirk Cousins. Rams versus the Cowboys.
Zeke, Dak, and them.
What?
Zeke, Dak, and them.
Oh,
Zeke,
the whole
Dak,
offense?
And them. Zeke, Dak, and them.
I'm going to go with the opposite side of the ball, and I'm going to go with Todd Gurley.
I'm going Zeke, Dak,
Falcons, 49ers.
Matthew Ryan.
Really? You know what? Just because you said that, Jimmy G. Bills versus the Steelers.
Go with Rudolph for the one time.
Who? He ain't the quarterback.
Who's the quarterback over there?
It's Duck. Oh man, why can't I say his name right now?
I don't know.
You know, Hodges.
Oh, Hodges. Yeah, I like him too. Hodges.
So Hodges?
Yeah, Hodges.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to go opposite and go Josh Allen because Josh Allen is a beast. Colts versus Saints.
Drew Brees.
Michael Thomas. All day. All right, so let's see where we're at with time. I think we're about to be done. Yes, we are.
We're done.
We are done for the day. Check us out on Jim Bag Entertainment, YouTube, and check out all our other shows, Tail of the Tape and The Flex. And until next week, we'll see you in the end zone. Have a good night.